I'm Greg Bollomo. I'm here to discuss project prioritization, one of our case studies in this video series. I'm going to walk you through a tool that has been built to reward the adoption of the resiliency mindset, as well as reinforce resilience in a way that's consistent with CDOT's commitment to being good stewards of public resources. To achieve this goal, we're working to update current call for project scoring methods with a resiliency component. The thinking here is that integration of resiliency can help differentiate between mid-pack projects. We've reviewed past calls for projects and determined that 10% was a sufficient differentiator to help a project move from the sticky middle into the echelon that gets funded. This, of course, would require a fair and transparent scoring model for resiliency, and that's what we've built. I'll now walk you through the tool's features and an example. First, a little orientation. This workbook has 3 tabs, one for instruction, another static example, and the third, which is the Live tool. In the Live tool, certain cells have been protected to avoid inadvertent tampering, and the cells where your inputs are required have been colored yellow. Now for the example that outlines a likely scenario. Imagine a bridge that's at risk from several different threats. The first question would be, is the program funding suitable for resiliency? Selecting this drop-down, Structures All, and because it is available, I select Yes. Line 2 asks me to select the criticality of the asset, and by using the criticality map at the link provided, I can see that this asset is highly critical, and you'll see that the points box to the right grows to 2 points. There are a set of lookup values driven off of the drop-downs. You don't need to worry about those, but you can see that we have a column for scoring logic that makes it clear the result of your choices. Line 3 asks if I've completed a screening level assessment of the tool. Again, I have a handy link programmed into the sheet, and I say yes. That earns me 1 more point. Line 4 asks me whether upgrading the as-built condition to a new standard or practices incorporates resiliency. For example, if I'm replacing a 24-inch culvert with a new spec 48-inch culvert, then that would be hardening the asset. In this case, I'm not doing that, so I choose no. And you'll see that I don't earn any points. Column F stays at 0. So for those first 4 lines, which were all related to adopting the resiliency mindset, I earn a total of 3 points. Not bad. Below this orange line is the risk mitigation assessment, where I earn points for making decisions that are consistent with CDOT's commitment to responsible stewardship. We don't want resiliency at all costs. Instead, we want to make smart decisions that manage known risks by making prudent investments. Let me continue my example here. Our sample bridge is under threat from several different risks. I've already selected the 3 risks from the drop-down menus in column C. Let's say that the 100-year floodplain risk is very vulnerable, and that we've designed in mitigations. You'll see that column F turns to 4 points. The second risk is rockfall geohazard, and we determine that this asset is somewhat vulnerable to that, and that we have also mitigated that risk. The third risk, man-made, we determine we are very vulnerable to that. However, we've chosen not to mitigate that. You'll see that I earn 4 points for that first mitigation, 2 more points for the second, and none for the third because I chose not to mitigate it. Totaling the points in column F shows that we didn't get 4 plus 2 points, though, because the sheet caps the maximum number of points at 4. I'll show you why in a second. This shouldn't dissuade you from analyzing every risk, as doing so will help you in the next step. I mentioned that we value good stewardship. Let's see what the effect of using our R&R tool to run a benefit cost analysis has on achieving a higher score and possibly funding your project. The first step is to determine owner and user risks to the asset. Then you apply potential mitigation strategies to reduce that risk, which ultimately gives you a benefit cost or BC score for reducing the risk. The higher the BC, the more points you can receive. In this case, let's say the BCA score is 1.7. I earn only 50% of the available 4 points, or 2 points. If, by contrast, the R&R tool yielded a BC score of 8, indicating a prudent investment, you'll see that I earn 1.5 times the available 4 points, or 6 total points. My total points at the top were 3, and my total points at the bottom were 6. So I would receive 9 out of a maximum of 10 points. By doing the work of analyzing and building resilient solutions, my project would likely receive enough points to stand out from the pack and hopefully be funded. If you need more help for how to use this tool, please contact the CDOT Resiliency Program staff.